Early in the morning, before it began to get too hot, Hirsch decided to take Mellow Yellow, and Mellow Yellow 3 out for a little playtime. These are Red Boy Jocko dogs at its best. Real working dogs coming off a line off true. Working dogs that weren't bred for pedigrees. Stemming down several decades, this one family of dogs have stood the test of time. Many people hate, but their line of dogs' production level can't stand toe-to-toe generation after generation. Mellow Yellow is a product of a breeding between Waccama's Hacksaw and Pelican Bay's Sabre 2000. Hacksaw is a son of Crazy Eyes Jr. He's a full brother of Pelican Bay's Nitro and PBK's Little Man. Mellow Yellow is the granddaughter of Waccama's Ronda Rousey, whose father is Waccama's Rattler. These are some of the dogs from the top side of her pedigree. On the bottom side, Mellow Yellow's granddad is Waccama's Jocko, who is off the famous Waccama breeding of Fletcher and Crazy Girl. That means she has Little John as 4th generation. Every single dog in Mellow Yellow and Fletcher's pedigree goes back to Big John or Little John. Pelican Bay doesn't breed for pedigrees. He breeds for working ability, and that's something you can't see in the pedigree by looking at the paper. Waccama dogs don't have bone, neither back problems, and are structurally sound dogs. They cross great with many other bloodlines, and they carry Chavis Jocko traits from decades back. They are capable for serious rear-end work when used properly. They are smart and fully functional for any type of work. Hirsch has dealt with this family for nearly 30 years, dating back to his very first one named Chester, who was off Red John and CP. Dealing with the line so long, PBK knows the strengths and weaknesses it carries. For example, males used for breeding should be introduced to females early in their lives due to their aggression towards females and males alike. Mellow Yellow is very protective of her human companion, but they aren't a human aggressive line of dogs. Some of Mellow Yellow's notable offspring includes Goiko's Charlotte, YSL, Mellow Yellow 2, Scorpion, Sandman, Butterroll, and Penny. Mellow Yellow is the most known living female down off Grand Champion Yellow and Champion Yellow John. She's the most known Waccama dog living period, male or female. This is due to the haters and non-bulldoggers that let envy and jealousy take over their hearts. She is the only fully trained, pure Waccama dog in the country. Her brother name is Fletcher, but don't get it confused with the dog named Fletcher in the bottom side of her pedigree, who is off Little John. A great pitbull is only as great as his or her owner is and allows them to be. Pedigrees don't make great working dogs. Great pedigrees make a great conversation, but conversations don't get out there to work. Some families of dogs produce 1 or 2 great dogs a litter, and some even produce a litter full of low-level bulldogs. This is not the case with Mellow Yellow's family, who have been throwing a high percentage of real working dogs for decades on top of decades. Breeding this family out to a totally different family of dogs also makes a high ratio of great dogs. When you have seen it with your own eyes, you don't need someone's opinion about breeding practices, especially when they're running a different family of dogs. Many people judge a family of dogs off of 1 or 2 dogs they purchased in their lifetime. They will never understand what you know about a family of dogs that you have studied longer than they were even involved with dogs. For example, Hirsch has had more dogs from Mr. Garner himself, and not a second-hand party, than your average Garner fanatic. When it comes to the old schoolers, some were focused on selling and distributing their dogs across the country, while forgetting to strive for better producing dogs, litter after litter. Just because a bulldogger is old doesn't mean his dogs are high caliber. A lot of old schoolers dodged and stayed away from dogs that would make their dogs look below average. And there is a difference from a great dog from the past that could never produce dogs of their caliber, and dogs that continuously dropped bulldogs generation after generation. The key to getting your program where you want it is to know your dogs and stop believing everything these old schoolers say is gold. PBK has been dealing with Red Boy Jocko dogs since the age of 16 or the 10th grade. He was still in school when he met Mr. Clewade Puckett and Crossroad Kennel. Crossroads Eric and Mike Caton had one of the last dogs born from the old yellow dog before he died, which was Toe Jam. After his death, David Tant began falsifying his breedings, making what is now called bootleg yellow dogs.
Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep. All by his bread. Bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep. All by his bread. Now bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm first green ballin', tryna get my bread long. You know the game gone and my mind been blown. Different decisions that I done made got me fucked up now. Still gon' thug the life I'm living, still gon' hold this shit down. Every day of my life, yeah, nigga chasing trees. And the same niggas that be around, they won't see you off your feet. My mama been doing bad, but I ain't going into that. I done picked that girl up when I caught my first package. I be damn. Me and my people hurting for something for a day. That shit happen, the next man ain't getting nothing. Faded the root of evil, and that's my damn best friend. I put that on my life, ain't nobody gon' fuck with him. You try to jam it, yeah, that ass getting chopped. Tryna serve ain't got no business on my block, I bet you're getting chopped. Now either way you try to fuck with my balls, don't believe that ass getting chopped. Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep. All by his bread. Bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep. All by his bread. Now bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm back in the mix. Those flaky niggas better stand down. Came home, got me some yam, I'm the man now. Niggas, some bitches all from my face, I ain't know who they is. Everybody up from my mix like I'm a hero and shit. Fall back, I'll buy a brick. Right now, I'm on a mission. I'm giving you 2 for 20, got grams going for 50. Putting that in my pockets, the nigga, you bullshitting. What the fuck you ain't listen? I done told you I got to get it. Nobody depending on me, so it's all mine. I ain't stressing out by myself, that's how it going down. My mama fighting her little dicks and she gon' be alright. Before I ever tweaking and begging, I put something up on the pipe. It's a no fraction of my life, still all in for a lick. Lurking for fatty, looking for niggas to tone mix. Start to lurking if I'm hurting, different side come out. That flip shit, Dr. Jacob, Mr. Hyde, come out. Gonna be, you know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep.
Hey.